Okay, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, based on which location you're joining us from. Uh, this is Nitin Sharma, Senior Vice President Sales with Hurix, and I am here to welcome you all for our webinar on low-cost IT business outcome, maximize IT operations, performance, and cost efficiency. Basically, going with the current theme that is prevailing across the world, how to get more for less. And I'm joined in this webinar by my colleague Nitesh, who is Vice President and Business Unit Head for Cloud Services. And both of us are going to walk you through the agenda, which is starting with our introductions. We'll, of course, talk about the organization that we work with, that is Hurix. And then we are going to deep dive into the managing modernized IT services, how to go about it, the risk associated with it, and how our managed services can help you take care of those risks while containing cost, the various engagement models that are available, and also spruce it up with our real world examples and case studies. And we can all conclude the session with the Q&A, wherein we'll open the platform for you to ask questions to our expert, that is Nitesh, right? So in brief, let me quickly introduce myself. I work as Senior Vice President with Hurix. I've been with the organization for a little over 5 years, but I bring more than 2.5 decades of experience in the EdTech and e-learning space. I'm spearheading our foray into cloud services, which is one of our latest offerings into markets like US and Europe. And I'm joined by my colleague Nitesh in this particular foray. I would let him also introduce himself. Go ahead, Nitesh.
Hi everyone, I'm Nitesh Kumar. And as Nitin said, I'm Vice President and Head of Hurix Cloud Services. I have been working for Hurix past more than a year. Uh, I have been part of IT industry for more than 2 decades, and out of these 20 years, that is 2 decades, for last 10 years, I have been having leadership role in cloud technology management related businesses. In fact, I have established cloud businesses from scratch for last three of my employers. And on one occasion, out of these three, I took it to the level of expert level of partnership association with Microsoft. So during these uh, 20 years of IT journey and 10 years of rigorous cloud journey, whatever I learned, I will try to share with you as part of this webinar. So that's all about me. Back to you, Nathan.
Thank you, Nitesh. Let's quickly deep dive into Hurix and who we are and what we bring to the table for you. So as an organization, we were found way back in the year 2000. We bring more than 2 decades of experience. And in these more than 2 decades, we have spread our wings, opened up offices in the US, Canada, Middle East, besides India. And through these offices, we are catering to more than 250 global customers across more than 25 countries. And to support us in doing so, we have put in place a team of more than 700 experts comprising of visual designers, instructional designers, technology experts, you name it. And we have it all under one roof to deliver turnkey solutions for our customers. So all put together, the team has substantial experience and expertise to deliver uh, solutions that we can broadly categorize into 5 or 6 buckets, right? So first one being learning content. So what we are doing in this space is we are very closely collaborating with some of the top global education players like universities and education publishers, and we are supporting them in converting their content. There have been instances where legacy content like PDFs or Flash has been, they have approached us to convert that kind of content, and we have helped them transform that into HTML or EPUBs. We also bring cloud platforms like ebook platform that we have to offer called Kitabu, which has more than 15 million users in more than 25 countries. We also support our customers on the technology front, wherein we can tailor make or bespoke technology solutions to suit your requirement. And these solutions could range from website development or revamp to learning management system, content management system, bringing in e-commerce platform, to name a few. And last but not the least, and which is what we are here to discuss, our cloud services. The infant amongst all the services that we have to offer, but supported by a veteran in the industry, that is Nitesh. Now, what we are going to also highlight is the list of clientele that we have, right? So, as you can observe here, we work across a wide spectrum of customers, ranging from corporate, enterprise to higher education, publishers, associations, and we work across industry segments, right? So it should give you an idea of the length and breadth of experience and expertise that we have developed over a period of time. With this brief introduction about Hurix, let me now pass on the baton to Nitesh to walk you through our cloud services and what we can do to provide you more for less.
All right, thank you, Nitin. So, hi everyone. So before I start talking about how to manage modernized IT services and drive efficiency and cost reduction, uh, let me talk about the current landscape of technology evolution. So as we all know that we are living in a highly fast evolving information technology world. Very often at a very fast speed, new technologies are coming, and the good thing is it is also being adopted or getting adopted by business organization at the same speed. This was not the case 10 years back. A decade back, the situation was different. New technologies were coming, but adoption rate was not as fast as it is today. But with this fast speed of releasing new technology to the market and adoption of the same, we are facing one challenge. And that challenge is that businesses are adopting those technology, and to do so, they are modernizing their existing technology. But at the end of the modernization, they are not modernizing their operational methodologies and tools and processes and all. And this way, they are winning the half battle. When I say winning the half battle means when you are modernizing your technology from legacy one or from one generation to the next generation one or the latest generation one. But if you are keeping your operational methodologies, its processes, its tool, then you are just winning the half of the battle. Your technology stack is up to date, they are new, they are a state of art, but you are not managing them using your traditional or legacy processes. This way, you will not be able to uh, exploit the maximum benefit out of that modern days technology. And trust me, if you continuously doing it for a period of 6 months to 1 year, you will be pushing your modernized technology stack towards a status quo. And within a period of 6 months to a year, your newly modernized technology stack will be falling into the trap of a status quo. So I know this statement is very hard to digest at this point of time, but when we will be going through few slides down the line, you will agree with me. So before we move further, let me conclude that in today's time, we are modernizing our technology stack, but we are not modernizing our operational methodologies, our tool sets, and all. And this way, we are depriving our organization from exploiting the maximum benefit that the modernized technology can deliver it to us. And to overcome this challenge, as part of Hurix Cloud Services, we have a delivery philosophy that whenever we modernize technology stack for any customer, we do modernize operational methodologies and their tool sets and their processes as well. So our delivery philosophy is managing IT services demands cutting edge operational methodology, not traditional ones. Because traditional one merely maintain the status quo and deprive the organization from the transformative outcome. Because as a business, if you are causing technology modernization, your end objective is to get transformative outcome out of it. But if you are not modernizing your operations or operational methodologies and processes, then you will not be able to get the desired outcome. So this delivery philosophy of Hurix managed services keep us always on right track. Whenever we work with any customer, we keep this delivery philosophy in mind and we make sure that both part of the world, that is technology stack as well as its operational and governance tech processes and methodologies and tool sets are also modernized together so that the customer can get the actual benefit of the technology transformation or modernization. So as I was saying that if you do not believe in this philosophy, then you will be gradually falling into the trap of a status quo. And your status quo will not keep you only outdated in terms of technology stack, it will make you sit on the pile of risk. So I will take you through some of the key risks as next part of my discussion. So friends, these are the very common or some of the key risks that you will be encountering in a very short period of time if you do not uh, use modern methodologies and processes to manage your modernized technology stack. And the very first risk is operational inefficiency. As part of operational inefficiencies, you will be experiencing slow performance and unplanned outages in a period of 6 months to 1 year, right? If you remember my earlier statement, I said that if you are done with your technology modernization, but if you do not do your operational methodologies, processes, and tool sets modernization, then within a period of 6 months to a year, you will be getting into the trap of a status quo. And this will be the very first impact on you. Like you will start experiencing operational efficiencies in terms of slow performance and unplanned outages. I also said that it is very hard to digest my this statement, but I would like to share one uh, real experience with you that I uh, faced with one of the customers. That customer was a well-known product-based company, and recently they had launched a SaaS-based platform or product. They were using uh, Microsoft containerized services like Kubernetes and Docker to host their application. That application was using all sort of a state-of-art technology, and it was a highly integrated application environment that was having interfaces, making calls to many other third-party application and many other services of Microsoft Cloud. The first year went well with that particular customer, and everybody was very happy. But in the very second year, just beginning with the second year, in the beginning of the second year, they started experiencing slow performance and unplanned outages. They were unable to figure out the reason. So they got annoyed with their existing managed services provider and they started looking for an alternative in the market. And during the course of this search, we met them. When we met the customer and we finally got into a managed services agreement, the very first thing we did was we did a kind of deep dive analysis that why their application environment started having this kind of problem all of a sudden, because it is a newly built application environment. It was built just a year back using all the modern technology uh, that Microsoft Cloud containerized services offer. And what we came to know was they were the version of Kubernetes that they were using and the version of Kubernetes that Azure Marketplace or Azure was having, there was a lag between the same because in last 1 year, Microsoft has released many different versions of Kubernetes, but the customer had not upgraded it. And as this was a highly integrated uh, application environment, it was having very deep integration with many other services of Microsoft Cloud, plus many other third-party applications or services. That compatibility gap was causing the issue. We worked with Microsoft and we put down a roadmap into place that how to, the gap was very huge. We had to fill the gap of few versions, right? And as you know that you cannot directly go ahead and upgrade your Kubernetes or uh, any other containerized services version without considering the level of your code or the kind of code you have as part of your application. You need to adjust your code accordingly. So it took almost a quarter to bring the customer on the right stage. And when we are done with this change, it happened. So this way, on the basis of this experience, and this was the very first hand experience that I had while talking to this customer. So the takeaway from this story is they built something afresh, utilizing the latest out of latest technology that the cloud service provider was giving. But right after a year, they fell into the trap of a status quo and they started experiencing operational issues because they did not manage their modernized technology using their modernized methodology. Basically, they kept their operational methodology as traditional one while they modernized their technology stack where their mission critical application was hosted. The second risk you will start experiencing will be higher cost. Friends, as you know that along with every evolution in technology, the technology provider or product provider comes up with different pricing model, different features, and different mechanism that you can adopt or utilize to optimize your cost. If I talk about, especially in terms of any public cloud provider, they give you a couple of pricing model options, like you can go by pay as you go, but the cost will be high. If you go for a few years of commitment, let's say if you give a commitment for 3 years that you are going to use this particular service for a period of 3 years, your cost will be down. Basically, you will be giving a commitment by reserving some resource capacity that you are going to use this much of resource capacity for X number of years. If you go this kind of commitment, your cost will be kind of optimized. But for that, you will have to pay attention to the new offerings coming from your technology provider or coming from your service provider. Otherwise, you will not be able to make best use of it. Similarly, if you are using one service, let's say if you are using a file server, but your service provider is done with a file as a service, and if you transition your this technology stack from server based to serverless one, then there might be some cost saving. So all I want to say here is you will have to keep your eyes on the technology stack that you are having versus the technology stack your service providers are launching or coming up with. And you need to keep evaluating that which one is going to be cost effective for you. But if you have fallen into the trap of a status quo, you will not be able to take advantage of all these options, right? So that's why I'm calling it as the second risk of IT status quo. The third risk you will be getting is reduced competitive edge, right? Because friends, nowadays you cannot imagine having a business without proper IT support. Every aspect of your business is dependent on IT services some way or the other. So if you are not having a reliable IT services, you are having modernized IT services, but it has fallen into the trap of a status quo, then it will be unreliable. It will be unstable. Very often there will be outages, slow performance issues, and all. And when your IT services will be interrupted, it will cause impact on your business. Imagine you are a business and 3 times in a week your order management system is getting impacted. Then your order delivery will be slow, and this will not be liked by your customer. So that's why if you are falling into the trap of IT status quo, then you will be losing your competitive edge to your competitors. Poor data management will be the another risk, right? In today's time, data is the biggest asset, right? Because people are accumulating data from various sources, they are transforming it to make it information out of it. And they are also using different kinds of analytical services to take decisions. But if you are not keeping your IT services up to date, then your data collection mechanism will not be function. You will be losing many data, and if you are losing data, you will be losing insights that will further cause poor decision making as part of your business organization. The next risk I would like to talk about is inability to scale. If you are part of a business organization that have a very clear growth trajectory, I mean, if you are doing your business in one part of the country or one part of the world, having a plan or vision to scale or expand your business to the different country or different geographical area. But at the same point of time, if you are not keeping your IT services up to date, and all of a sudden, if your leadership takes a call that you have to set up similar kind of infrastructure in the different geography, there will be challenges because first of all, you will have to do tons of work to modernize your existing technology stack so that the same can be properly synchronized with the newer one. Because the newer one that will be built over there will be you will not be getting legacy old technology stack from the market because many of the old technology might be getting outdated or might not be sold at that moment. So this way you will be losing your, you will be facing inability to scale your business if you are into the trap of IT status quo. Security and compliance issue will be another risk that you will be making your business organization sit if you do not keep it out of a status quo. Because nowadays, businesses have to justify their security uh, uh, level to their customers, to their investors, and to their internal stakeholders as well. And for that, they need to certify standards like ISO 27001, SOC 2 Type 2, PCI DSS, NIST, and many more, right? And as you know, at every certain time, at every year or two, these standards also evolve their clauses or the list of criteria, looking at the evolution of the information technology, right? But if your information technology stack is still outdated, it is not catching up with the latest evolution one, you will not be able to justify or meet the requirement of these standards, and you will be failing your compliance level. And obviously, this will not be liked by your customers and all. Last but not the least, talent acquisition and retention. Yes, this is also going to be your risk because as part of your IT organization, you need good talent. And whosoever works for you in your IT organization are technologists. And technologists never want to work on legacy technology. They always want to try their hands on the modern technology and the latest technology because they believe that if they are skilled on the latest technology, their market value will always be relevant or high or as per their expectation. So trust me, if you are getting into the trap of IT status quo, this is also going to be a challenge for you. Attracting talent and retaining them. If you attract them by some way or the other, then retaining them will be a challenge for you. So, friends, before we move to the next part of our discussion, these are the common risks we come across if you fall into the trap of IT status quo. Now, I would like to talk about what Hurix has for you to keep you out of all these risks or to stop you or not letting you become victim of the IT status quo. So let's move further and let's talk about one, one of the Hurix digital offering that will keep you always out of IT status quo. And that offering is Hurix Managed Services. Don't worry, I will not take you through series of slides. I will be just talking about the 6 aspects of our managed services. We have 6 slides, and all slides I will try to keep it as interesting and as precise as I can, so that it can be meaningful to you. and you will not find it boring. So, as part of managed services, there are six key features, and the very first feature is 24/7 managed support and operations. Friends, our managed service is always available for our customers, and then not only keep waiting for something to be reported from the customer, they are always working, they are always proactive, using their tools and other systems. They keep an eye on the performance, availability, and security of customer technology stack, and they make sure that the performance, availability, and security is as per customer expectations, right? So this way they are proactive, and obviously, whenever they hear anything from customer, there is a support request or there is a service request. Obviously, they work on the same, following SLAs and SLA, right? So this is the very first feature. Let's move to the next feature of our managed services. And the next feature is human-centric technology business partner. This is one of the important feature of Hurix managed services. And we call ourselves human-centric technology business partner because of two reasons. And the very first reason is when we work with any customer, we never project ourselves as a vendor or as an IT vendor. We always project ourselves as a technology business partner. We see our interest in the interest of the customer. We always keep customer interest on top of our interest, right? We firmly believe that if my customer is successful, then we will be successful. This is our belief system and this is our work ethics. And with this ethics, at every stage of customer engagement, we deal with any particular customer. We call ourselves human centric because the moment anybody hear of a managed services provider, the very first thing comes in mind that these guys will come into a business organization and ask uh, the IT decision makers to lay off their uh, entire IT organization and give the entire work to us. We do not do that. We always believe in working as an extended arm of customers' existing IT team and make an impact in terms of operational efficiencies and cost reduction. Yes, we never request or ask for full or partial layoff within customer IT organization on the name of manpower and try to get business from them. We always request them that we will be working as an extended arm of your IT organization, but we will cause the same impact that we are making. And that's why, because of these two reasons, we call ourselves human-centric technology business partner. So this is the second uh, key feature that we have. And when we say technology business partner, we do not only proclaim this or project this, we reflect it by our services, we reflect it by our expertise. We engage our architect level employees when working with any customer as a managed services provider. And I'm ready to take a challenge that no managed services providers engage architect level people or resources in a managed service engagement. People do not do this. And we do it because we believe that an architect insight is far bigger or far deeper than a consultant or senior consultant. If there is an outage, an architect can do the magic within 15 minutes and it can reach to the bottom of the problem and fix it up, while a consultant or senior consultant will be taking hours and hours. And this is what our competitors of the outer world does. Whenever there is an outage, they start looking for architects across their organization so that that architect can come and do the magic. But here we keep few hours of our architects committed across the technology stack, that is servers, platform, data, and security, so that these people can keep customer technology stack onto the right path, and at time of any disaster, they can do the magic at the shortest time period, right? So having said that, let's move to the next feature of our managed services, and that is outcome-driven proactive monitoring. Friends, nowadays, proactive monitoring has become a buzzword when people discuss managed services. People talk about almost every managed services provider talk about it. They say that we, yes, manage proactive monitoring, we do it. But nobody talks about the commitment that as an outcome of your proactive monitoring, how much incident you are going to avert, how much incident you are going to detect proactively and resolve it before it can cause impact. But we do it. The moment we onboard customer, from the very next month, we guarantee our customers that 75% of your issues will be proactively detected and they will be fixed before they cause any bigger impact. And we do not stop here. Our target is this is our baseline. 75% is our baseline, and we try to take it up to the level of 90%. Right? So this is what outcome-driven proactive monitoring means to us. And we do not only monitor the piece of technology that we manage. We keep our eye on the holistic view of the customer technology stack, that is the performance, resiliency, security, and cost of entire technology stack, starting from server, ending at application. Now let's move to the next feature of our managed services, and that is proactive technology lifecycle management. And this feature of our managed service always keeps the customer out of the trap of uh, high status quo. So if you remember my earlier statement, when I was advising that what one should do or a business organization should do right after the modernization of their information technology stack. And I was advising that you should not stop there. You should keep an eye on your technology stack and your market technology stack, and you should keep filling the gaps along the way so that you cannot be outdated and your services cannot fall into the trap of IT status quo. And if you remember my SaaS company example, to avoid this kind of situation, this activity is very important, right? So as part of our managed services, we have a feature or of our service offering. We call it proactive technology lifecycle management. So every month we look at the technology stack of our customer, and we also look at the technology stack of the marketplace. And we do a gap analysis and we put down a roadmap in place. And we make sure that the gap is not bigger enough so that it can cause an impact, like the SaaS-based company example that I gave. So as part of this, we make sure that there is no version upgrade gap, there is no system or service upgradation gap, there is no automation gap, because every technology provider is automating many of the workflow, right? If there is a workflow that is getting done manually as of today, it can be automated by your service provider tomorrow, but you will have to make certain changes to take advantage of this new innovation, right? So basically this way, we keep the technology stack of our customers always up to date, always refreshed proactively before it become a legacy one or become the victim of IT status quo. The next feature of our managed services is preventive operations management. As part of our managed service or as a managed service provider, we always project ourselves as a preventer because we firmly believe that if there is an outage, there is no use of your capability. You might solve it in within 15 minutes or so, but there would be damages by that time. So we believe in the prevention of those major outages. And that's why 60% of our managed services efforts goes on preventive activities. Those preventive activities have been defined out of our 20 years of experience in managed services. The learnings that we have gathered, we have defined series of preventive maintenance activities that are executed on customer systems and services on weekly, monthly, and quarterly basis to keep the customer systems highly available, high performing, and highly secure all the time, right? So if we move further, this is the last feature of our managed services, the sixth one, but it is the very important one. I will call it the most important. Our application centricity is the most important feature of our managed services because most of the managed services providers keep their focus limited to the piece of the technology that they are managing. But we do not believe so because the end objective of any IT organization is high availability, high performance, and the highest degree of security to the end workload or to the end application. Because this is the piece that is used by business to do their day-to-day job. The business has nothing to do with your servers, your network, your databases, and other pieces of your technology. The business cares for application. If the application is not working well, we firmly believe that rest of the underlying technology stacks are useless. This is our thought process. And with this thought process, we keep ourselves highly application centric. So our processes, our delivery frameworks are modeled to keep customer applications highly available, high performing, and secure. Having said that, I would like to conclude that even if we are managing your servers and databases and network, we have nothing to do with your application. Even in that case, we keep visibility on the performance of your application by our monitoring and observability tool, and we keep drawing our attention. The performance issue or the availability issue may be or may not be because of the pieces of the technology we are managing, but we believe that it is our religion to draw your attention towards the application issue. Because if your application as a customer doesn't work, that means you are not getting business outcome out of your entire technology stack. So friends, these are the six ingredients or six salient features our managed services offer to keep you out of the status quo or IT status quo right after the modernization. And if you do not follow these six features, or if you do not establish this six feature as part of your IT operations, then in a as minimum as 6 months or as maximum as 1 year, you are going to be victim of IT status quo for sure. So having said that, let's move to the next part of our discussion, that how do we engage ourselves with a customer? So as part of this, we have a very customer friendly engagement model. And I would like to talk about four things. The very first thing is our service offering. Our service offerings are quite modular in nature. We never push our customer to buy our complete managed services. Our managed services offerings consists of multiple plans, right? And there is a dedicated plan for every technology stack. For example, if you are looking for a managed services provider to manage just your servers and databases, you don't want your network and security to be managed because for that you have your own team capable enough to do it. So you can buy only a server related and database related service plan, and you will be charged from cost perspective for that level of service only. So basically, if I express myself in simple word, we are not emphasizing or we never emphasize you to buy the complete pie. We always emphasize you to buy a piece of it or slice of it as per your requirement. Second thing is our service availability is quite flexible. We never try to sell 24/7, 365 days managed services to all customers because we know that all customers are not going to need the same. So we have three service availability band: silver, gold, and platinum. As part of silver, our managed service availability will be 8 by 5 Monday to Friday. That is 8 hours right during your business hours, Monday to Friday. 16 hours as per your timing, whatever you prefer out of 24-hour Monday to Friday and 24/7. We have kept it in this way. I would like to give you a couple of business requirements that we hear from customer very often. Imagine there is a customer whose IT team is available for 16 hours, but he is looking for someone who can cover their IT for the remaining 8 hours. And that's why we have kept our 8 by 5 model in place. Imagine there is a customer who is looking for whose IT team is available just for 8 hours in a day. And he is looking for someone who can cover their IT organization for 16 hours so that they can have round the clock coverage of their technology stack. And if there is a customer, of course, if they are looking for a partner who can take complete charge of their IT organization, then we are also in a position to do so. So this way, our service availability is flexible and customer can choose it accordingly. The third feature of our engagement model is value-driven pricing. We have two pricing models. One is effort-based, and utilizing this one, we claim to give a low-cost IT operations services to our customer. By efforts-based, I mean we never bill the full-time availability of our resources to our customer. When we get into the agreement with any customer, we assess the volume of their IT infrastructure and services, and by using our calculation mechanism, we know that how much efforts we will have to put in order to keep that customer healthy all the time. And we commit that number to the customer, and that customer is billed for every that much uh, amount for that much efforts only every month, right? So imagine if we are committing a customer that we will be working for you 100 hours every month, and against this 100 hour, you just need to pay this much money every month. That's what we mean by efforts-based uh, pricing model. But there are customers who expect managed services resources to be dedicated to them. They want certain resources to be working for them dedicatedly, not for other customers. Also, because the first one is the shared one, because those resources will be working for you and working for other customers also. But the benefit is this is very cost effective. You will be billed just for the amount of efforts they will be making for you, or they will be working for you. Other opposite to this, they will be dedicated for you. And in this case, full-time cost of those resources will be built. The last ingredient feature or the salient feature of our engagement model is tailored contract. So friend, whatever we say here, like modular offering, flexibility of timing, value-driven pricing, all these things can be further customized if you have certain special needs. I will give you one example. We are serving customers who are not expecting availability of either of these three bands. They are saying that our IT team is 24/7 Monday to Friday, but we need somebody to cover our weekend. We are ready to do that. So whatever we say here on the name of these three features, all these can be further customized as per requirement, right? So and that's why we call our engagement model very, very customer friendly. We have designed it hearing from many prospect customers like you. So let's move to the next part of our discussion, because for the last few minutes, you must be hearing a lot of high talks from my side. And you must be thinking that this person has been talking a lot about himself and his organization. Has they really impacted one customer? So I would like to talk about one example that we recently set by serving one of our customers. So our customer was or better to say, even now they are our customer, is a utility services provider based at Houston, Texas. And they were having a manpower of 2,000 employees, having annual revenue of 1 billion plus. And recently, by the time we met them, uh, they were recently migrated to cloud, Microsoft Azure cloud, by a third-party vendor. And right after the migration to cloud, they started experiencing many challenges, like their applications started giving slow performance. And the same application was working quite well during their on-premise day. They also started experiencing uh, quite a surge in their security events. There were lots and lots of security events coming into their logs and all. Their, their cloud consumption cost also was unexpected. They were not expecting that much of cloud consumption, right? Cloud consumption charge. So these were the challenges we came to know when we were discussing managed services agreement with them. Right after the agreement, what we did a very deep gap analysis of their current system, and we uh, defined the gaps those systems were having from the ideal state. And referring to some best cloud infrastructure framework or the methodologies and best practices, we defined the gaps and we put down a roadmap that how these gaps can be filled in the shortest possible time. And we executed each of the uh, strategic item one by one, and we filled all those gaps. When all our changes were done, we set some preventive maintenance regime for the customers. When those regimes were executed, this is the customer environment, or better to say, the customer cloud environment became very, very stable, right? Whatever challenges those customers were having in their early days or before coming to us, we overcome all the challenges. Having said that, let's talk about some of the challenges they were having, right? Or some of the impact that we made. So, friends, we caused 80% reduction in the number of incidents. Whatever number of incidents they were having earlier, we made them lower by 80%, right? We reduced their cloud consumption cost by 30%, right? We saw a significant decline in the number of their security incidents, security events. That was approximately 60%, right? Before coming to us, every month they were having 10 major outages. That is priority one or severity one. That we reduced to one per month. And before coming to us, they were getting managed services from a local US-based managed services provider. But when they came to us, so Hurix managed services delivery team is primarily based at our offshore delivery locations. So utilizing our offshore delivery location, we caused more than 50% of uh, operational cost reduction to manage their cloud infrastructure and services. So these are the benefits we caused for our customer. And whatever I spoke about this customer, we have very proudly published this as a customer success story on our website. You can see a pretty screenshot of this customer success story. And I know right after this event, our team will provide you some mechanism to download this presentation or recording of this presentation. So you can go ahead and you can access this link to read this particular customer success story on our website. So having said that, that's all from my side. And with this, I would like to hand it over to Nitin so that he can encourage certain questions from our audience. Over to you, Nitin.
Thank you, Nitesh, for those insights. Clearly reflection of your thought leadership in this space. I would now open the floor to the attendees for any questions if they have. You can raise your hands so that I could allow you to speak. Okay, while the attendees are gathering their thoughts around the questions they want to ask, let me quickly pose a couple that I have thought of. So Nitesh, you spoke about the risk of status quo in IT. So how do you avoid this trap for your own function? Because I understand if your own function is trapped in status quo, then they will not be able to manage the modern IT services of the customers.
Yeah, that's a very good question, Nitin, right? Because the charity begins at home. If we are uh, preaching something, first of all, we should practice on our own. So I'm a big fan of cost reduction, not by laying off employees, but by showing a smartness in adopting the customized solution from our vendors. So if we have kept a quarterly exercise, every quarter we look at our methodology, we look at our processes, our tool chain, and we look at our vendors. And we take a call that are we getting best out of all, or do we need to do something different? And we create do a gap analysis and we define some as action item for us, and we make sure that whatever we define, the same is executed before we meet the very next quarter. So this is our quarterly exercise. I personally involve myself in that exercise, and using this approach we always keep ourselves out of the status quo from our readiness perspective.
Sure, thanks, Nitish. You spoke at length about our managed services and the benefits that the customers can expect, right? So, when it comes to the timelines, can you also highlight usually how much time is required to make a customer realize the business outcome from our managed services?
Yep. So we are living in a world where everybody wants to realize the value the faster or the fastest they can, right? And we understand this particular psychology of customer or every any human being. So keeping that thing in mind, we try to show actual benefit right within the very first quarter of our operation. The moment we onboard our customer, we put down a strategy in place that, gentlemen, whatever we committed to our customer during our sales cycle, the customer should realize benefit from all perspective right within the very first quarter.
Oh, great. That's good to know. Also, information security compliance of managed services providers are seen as a common prospect customers concern. So, how will you make any prospect customers trust you that once they hand over their systems and services, you'll manage them while complying their information security standards?
Yeah. So Nitin, Hurix as an organization is ISO 27001 certified. And when it comes to compliance, we are uh, from security perspective, our technology, our processes, our way of working is ready to comply with NIST methodology as well. Because we did apple to apple comparison between our readiness and the requirement NIST controls expect out of a IT organization, and we are meeting all the requirements. Recently, we uh, had agreement with one customer, and they are a subcontractor of US Defense Organization, right? And we were found to be complying all their requirements from security perspective. So just to summarize, we are ISO 27001 certified. From compliance perspective, we are complying to NIST requirements, and we are gearing up to be certified for NIST as well in months to come.
Thank you, Nitesh. I think you packed a lot of punch in the 1 hour that we had for this webinar. Since we are coming to a close of that 1 hour, I would request the attendees to send their questions on the email IDs that we have sent. We have shared over here. It's nitin.sharma@hurix.com or marketing@hurix.com. And if you have any requirement for the kind of services that Nitesh has so deeply dealt in the last 1 hour, we'll be happy to provide you with more details, right, around costing and others. And friends, just remember, because we are an India-based multinational, we can certainly provide you more for less with our cost-efficient operating model. So we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much, everyone, for spending time with us. Thank you.